thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that.
Welcome to E3 2018. Gaming brings us together.
We gonna take it there one time. Yeah. Look what you can do, man. Yeah. Free, I like this shit right here, man.
What is up, everybody? Do we have a show for you? E3 2018 was lit like a Christmas tree. What is up? It is Fox at FOXY Games _UK. Go ahead, subscribe to the channel and follow via Twitter for your source of aggregate newsroom and video game discussion with an emphasis on PlayStation, but spanning a variety of platforms. If you are new to the channel, welcome, and do let us know how you found us, and please remember to thumbs up the video if you liked. Views expressed in our videos are those of third parties and do not necessarily represent the views of FOXY Games UK. All relevant links can be found in this video's description. Microsoft Xbox at E3 2018. A new console is coming, or consoles, plural S. A new Halo in the shape of Halo Infinite, Gears 5, Fallout 76 and more. The company makes its biggest case yet for why gamers should choose the Xbox brand over a Sony PlayStation or Nintendo Switch. Coming courtesy of CNET.com. So Microsoft's next Xbox console could come as early as 2020 if rumors are to be believed, but we'll just have to wait because the company's got a new Halo for us. The new hit action series starring the superhuman Master Chief in his latest adventure to save the galaxy was teased Sunday during the company's press conference here at the Electronic Expo, that is E3. Now, Phil Spencer, Microsoft's head of Xbox, said it will be the character's greatest adventure yet, though the company didn't say much more than that, nor when it will be released. The game will be called Halo Infinite. The new Halo was just the tip of the spear. The day also brought announcements of some 50 games and 20 exclusives designed to show the world the Xbox is the gaming device to buy, even if it's not the most popular. To emphasize that, the company wowed attendees at the Microsoft Theater in downtown Los Angeles with a series of announcements about plans for its most popular franchises, including Gears of War, Shooting Epic, and its hit Cuphead and Ori adventure games. And if that's not enough, Microsoft also dropped hints about its next Xbox console, saying teams are deep into architecting the next device, though it didn't give a timetable for a release. Threat.com cites a source saying the new device, codenamed Scarlet, will land in 2020. Microsoft has declined to comment. The company also said it's building a new streaming game service designed to allow gamers to play an Xbox, PC or phone. Now, the world of gaming is an historic growth path, Phil Spencer said. In this significant moment, we are constantly changing ourselves to where we can take gaming next. Now, the message throughout all of it is Microsoft wants fans to know it hears them. The company has also been criticized for its lack of compelling and exclusive new games, something Nintendo and Sony have been successful at over the past few years. The top recently released games lists on CNET Game Review aggregating sister site Metacritic, for example, include Sony's God of War Epic and Nintendo's update for Donkey Kong on the Switch. While Microsoft does have some popular exclusive games of its own, such as Halo and Gears of War, the criticism has only grown louder. Here's a quote. "Listening to the fans about how important exclusive games is really important to us," said Mike Ybarra, Corporate Vice President of Xbox and Windows platform at Microsoft, in an interview after the presentation. He added that by showing 50 games on stage during the Xbox press conference, the company was all about its commitment to giving gamers a wide selection of popular titles to play. That includes exclusive games made by Microsoft. We always tell our teams to focus on the gamer. If fans ask us for exclusives and first-party titles, well, that's what we're going to focus on. And here are the biggest announcements for Microsoft Xbox at E3 2018, courtesy of TheVerge.com. Now, Microsoft had its big E3 showcase to show off everything Xbox, and it wasn't short on big reveals. There's a new Halo, multiple Gears of War games, and a multitude of trailers for everything from Kingdom Hearts 3 to Fallout 76. Starting with Square Enix, who finally gave a release date for its Disney meets Final Fantasy role-playing game, and at Microsoft's keynote it showed a brand new Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer with distinctly frozen flair. Somehow Olaf isn't the weirdest part of this game. And then there's Microsoft teasing Halo Infinite for Xbox One and Windows 10. It is finally happening. There's a new Halo in the works. Though we don't know what to expect beyond that, Microsoft teased Halo Infinite with a brief trailer. It's been designed by 343 Industries and it's coming to both Xbox One and Windows 10. And Ori and the Will of the Wisps. The sequel to the wonderful indie game Ori and the Blind Forest isn't coming out until next year, but you can ease the pain with the latest trailer, which is doing the rounds on YouTube. It just looks absolutely gorgeous, just as gorgeous as the original, and probably just as hard. And then there was Fallout 76, which was one of the big pre-E3 reveals, and at Microsoft's Xbox keynote we got a better look at what this post-apocalyptic game actually is. Set in West Virginia, the game is 4 times bigger than the already huge Fallout 4, and it's not still entirely clear what you'll be doing in this wasteland, but Fallout 76 is reportedly an online game with a focus on building settlements. And then we got From Software, the team behind cult hits like Bloodborne and Dark Souls, showing off its latest project, Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. We don't know a whole lot about it, but expect all of those pillars, a gothic sense of style, brutal combat, and a punishing difficulty. And though it's not a proper sequel, there's a new game in the Life is Strange universe, a spin-off called The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit, and it's a contained story. It's also a tease for a much anticipated Life is Strange 2, and it's coming out very soon. You can play the spin-off on June 26th. And it's another year, that means another Forza announcement. Microsoft unveiled the latest release in its esteemed racing series with Forza Horizon 4, which shifts to a British landscape but maintains Forza's painfully recreated racing cars. It's coming to both the Xbox One and PC, and it will be available on October 2nd. And Microsoft didn't stop there, because they announced a whole bunch of games, and it also announced a large number of partnerships. 5 more studios are now part of Microsoft Studios umbrella, including Ninja Theory, Undead Labs, and a new team in Santa Monica called The Initiative. And The Division 2 is coming March 15th, 2019, but we already knew that the Division 2 existed, didn't we? But now Ubisoft is finally showing off the online survival shooter. The sequel looks as dreary as the original and just as bleak, and it moves from New York to Washington DC, and it launches on March 15th. Then there was Gears of War, which is growing in a massive way, a massive improvement visually over Gears of War 4. And not only did Microsoft reveal Gears 5, but it also unveiled a mobile game in partnership with the Funko Pop and a turn-based strategy game for the PC, but don't expect to play any of them until next year. And we all knew it was coming, hint hint hint. But a decade later, Devil May Cry 4 is getting a proper sequel. Series director Hideki Itsuno is returning to the helm. Devil May Cry 5, and based on the first trailer, the action looks as fast and furious as you expect, along with the hair too. But Square Enix revealed Just Cause 4, which is in the works, and I hope they really work on that frame rate for these consoles, as it looks just as chaotic as ever and a huge massive physics playground. Square Enix revealed the game with an intense trailer, one filled with plenty of tornadoes. And though Phil Spencer's teased it a few E3s ago, for the latest tease of the day, Microsoft revealed that a new Battletoads is in the works. It has a cute graphic and a cooperative player mode, but that's all we really know right now. But the game is expected to launch in 2019. Now hold on to your horses, because CD Projekt Red, the masters of RPG, Witcher 3, need I say more? And it's been a long time since we've heard from CD Projekt Red, the Polish studio, really about Cyberpunk 2077, but the studio released an incredible new trailer for the game that we still don't know a whole lot about how it plays, and it really was very cinematic, but it's said to be in a first-person style, very much maintaining that Western RPG feel, and when it comes out we know it's going to be cool. And Jump Force is an all-star mashup of Dragon Ball, Naruto, One Piece and Death Note. How much do you like anime? Because Jump Force has a lot of it. The new Bandai Namco game mashes together worlds like Dragon Ball and Death Note into one huge brawler that looks like it could be the best piece of fan service this side of Super Smash Bros. And that launches in 2019. So a whole bunch of games. There were so many more third-party games as well. There was also Crackdown 3, but we've seen so much of that already. We saw Shadow of the Tomb Raider. So many games on Microsoft's stage that I was compelled to give Microsoft the score it deserves. But you're going to have to wait, because before I reveal the score for Microsoft's E3 presentation, now a lot of you may know the score already if you watched the Gamer Couch podcast, which we had a special just Sunday past. But for those who didn't watch, hold on to your horses, because Microsoft's E3 2018 Xbox strategy is, if you can't beat them, buy them. The Xbox One has an exclusive problem. Can Microsoft buy its way out? That is the big question. But a flashy press conference? Check. Loads of video game reveals? Check. Now at Microsoft's Xbox E3 2018 presser, it was almost enough to hide the truth. There's a dearth of top tier AAA quality exclusive games for Xbox One, and you can actually play them this year. Looking forward to a new Halo or Gears of War 5? Well, they're coming sometime in 2019. Meanwhile, the long-awaited Crackdown 3 has been delayed yet again to February 2019. Battletoads, Ori, Will of the Wisps 2019 as well. The new Tomb Raider looked great, as did Sekiro, a samurai-infused spiritual successor to Dark Souls, but both of those are coming to PS4 and PC too. When Microsoft says it had 50 game reveals at the show, around 18 or 20 of them with exclusivity, it's counting tiny indie games and mere updates to existing games like Sea of Thieves and the popular PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds toward that total. So you want more exclusives? And I might have missed one. But the only major exclusive I can count coming to Xbox One before the end of the year is a new Forza Horizon 4 racing game. The lack of exclusives is a problem, because it tells Xbox One owners they might have been better off buying a PlayStation 4, which keeps getting beautiful, big budget, story-driven exclusives like clockwork, including the incredible God of War, Detroit Become Human, Horizon Zero Dawn and Uncharted. Next up, Spider-Man, the intriguingly weird Death Stranding and The Last of Us Part 2. Meanwhile, the Xbox One's big exclusive this year really was Sea of Thieves and State of Decay 2, both of which arrived to middling reviews. Now, GameSpot called the former hard to wholeheartedly recommend, and the latter aimless wandering and just out of place. It's little wonder PS4 is repeatedly beating Xbox One 2-1 in sales. A Microsoft spokesperson says the reports were inaccurate, but wouldn't say by how much. The company stopped reporting sales numbers in 2014. Admittedly, there's room for both PS4 and Xbox One to make some serious cash. Here's a quote. "We recently announced a record start of the year with gaming revenue at Microsoft increasing 18% year over year, reaching $2.25 billion. Xbox Live monthly active users increases really are 30% year over year, reaching 59 million, and in their first year, Mixer and Xbox Game Pass have been great contributors to growth in players and engagement." But after cancelling hugely hyped exclusives like Scalebound and Fable Legends and seeing mixed results from previous ones like Quantum Break and Sunset Overdrive, the company's reputation is still rather jeopardized. So Microsoft's trying a time-honored technique. It's pulling out the money hat. At E3 2018, the company announced it's in the process of buying 4 entire game studios, including Ninja Theory, who made Hellblade, Undead Labs, State of Decay, and Compulsion Games, We Happy Few, and Playground Games, Forza Horizon series, plus creating another internal studio known as The Initiative. Since those studios were already building games for Xbox, the unspoken message is pretty clear. Microsoft's buying more exclusivity. Never mind that We Happy Few is coming to PS4 and PC as well. Now, a Microsoft spokesperson told CNET, here's a quote, "When we look at our full first-party portfolio, it's important we're investing in long-term plans that will ensure we have a consistent pipeline of quality content for the fans. These were investments we saw an opportunity to make this year." Now, another unspoken message is there's no guarantee the games that result from those deals will appear on Xbox One anytime soon, and Microsoft may have more exciting places to put those games than the Xbox One. And the next console war, the next-gen console war, could well be a cloud gaming showdown. While the company's initiatives to merge Xbox and Windows PCs didn't pan out as originally promised, there's a good chance they'll set Microsoft up for a strong start when the next console generation begins. The same x86 processor, architecture and Windows operating system that made it tough to bring Xbox 360 games to the Xbox One theoretically means the company can more easily stream Xbox games over the internet to phones, tablets and computers from the company's farms of servers. The next console war could well be a cloud gaming showdown. Ubisoft's CEO believes this next console generation could be the last one. Sony has a cloud gaming service called PlayStation Now, and EA just announced and showed that it has a cloud gaming service, and now Microsoft says it's building one too. That doesn't mean there won't be a next Xbox or PlayStation. At E3, Microsoft confirmed another Xbox is coming, but I won't be surprised if streaming eventually takes over. But as Netflix, Hulu and Amazon Prime have shown, streaming services need exclusive content just as badly as boxes like an Xbox or PlayStation. Maybe more so, since a fickle user can easily switch loyalties without buyer's remorse. If you switch from Sony to Microsoft today, you've got to justify those hundreds you spent on a PlayStation. I'm not convinced these particular studios will necessarily be the ones to create must-play exclusives, but they might allow Microsoft to make greater booms with big guns like Halo instead of saving its press conference shattering one more thing final reveal for a game like Cyberpunk 2077, which is incredible, but it's third party, coming to PS4 and PC too. But we're not done there. The next Xbox, there's a lot of speculation about what Microsoft is doing next. As he's already mentioned, Phil Spencer, there is a next Xbox deep in development. The emphasis on games rather than hardware, experiences rather than devices, it's indicative of Microsoft's vision for the next generation of Xbox consoles, which have been in development for years. Spencer and Matt Booty have talked about letting people play games on whatever device they want, be it a phone, PC or Xbox, or even streaming games from the cloud, the way that we stream music using Spotify or TV shows using Netflix to whatever the screen happens to be in front of us. Here's a quote. We pivoted about 3 or 4 years ago to thinking about the gamer first, not the device first. I still see remnants of that. What can you do to force somebody to buy a device and then once they've bought it, own the store and services? But this limits people on the creative side because you have to build games for specific devices. Phil Spencer goes on to say, our focus is on bringing console quality games that you see on a TV or PC to any device. I want to see the creators that I have relations with reach all 2 billion people who play games and not just have their own studio into something that makes or matches 3 games rather than story driven single player games, because that's the only way to reach a bigger platform. That is our goal, to bring high quality games to every device possible on the planet. Now Matt Booty points out that although streamable gaming might seem a rather distant prospect, cloud technology is already in place in pretty much every game with an online component. Here's what he said. These days, multiplayer games depend so much on servers and matchmaking that's hosted in the cloud. It really is pervasive. It's what allows things to be saved across platforms. It's what allows virtual currency to transfer around. The cloud has enabled a whole new world in terms of what games can do with multiplayer. And the biggest challenge I feel now is games or gamers' desire to continue to divide our industry. The mentality is that somebody must fail in order for someone else to succeed. Phil Spencer chiming in there. We all want to think about how we grow the game business, to not create an arbitrary decision on what console you buy or what network you join. The more we work together as an industry, the better things happen. You'll have an Android and I'll have an iPhone. I can still call you. That would be my hope. That would be really still to compete, but we compete on creative and quality. So Microsoft is far from the only company in the games industry talking about this. Ubisoft's chief executive, Yves Guillemot, has predicted that the next generation of consoles will be the last as streaming takes over from these bulky boxes. Here's a quote. With time, I think streaming will become more accessible to many players and make it not necessary to have big hardware at home. There will also be one more console generation, then after that it will be streaming, all of us. Now EA's gone one step further, demonstrating its own cloud gaming service at E3. If the future for video games is streaming services, that means that we're approaching the end of an era where there's a new console to buy every 5 years or so. The technology in the box isn't going to matter so much, but that won't make brands such as Xbox or PlayStation irrelevant. Ultimately, it's the games that people love and relate to, not the consoles, we hope. Before any kid uses Office, before they're using Windows, they might be playing Minecraft, they might be playing Fortnite on Xbox, says Phil Spencer, who goes on to say, that gives us responsibility in this space. We talk about being inclusive to everyone who wants to play and embracing the power in what gaming can do to unify people and bring them together in a world that we can use more of right now. We work at a company that has the resources to actually change the world in that way. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Well, look, Microsoft has had a hard time. The last 2 years have been an absolute drought. But I will say one thing. I believe Microsoft are on the comeback. They are definitely coming back. They showed a ton of games. Yes, a lot of them are third party. A lot of them are coming to PS4. A lot of them come to PC and even Switch. But the future looks bright. The future looks very bright. And because Microsoft look to have a bright future, I'm maintaining my score of 9 out of 10. But do let us know your thoughts and opinion, won't you? Because that unfortunately brings us to the end of this video. But let's continue the discussion in the video comments. And for more PS4, Xbox One and Nintendo Switch coverage, subscribe to Foxy Games UK. If you found any of the information in this video at all useful, why not hit the like button and help us reach more like-minded gamers simply by sharing this video. And for $1 US, £1 UK or equivalent, become a member by joining the Foxy Games UK Patreon and help us grow. You can find the link in this video's description. Thanks for your kind support. So there we have it. Next up, the Sony PlayStation E3 2018 results. Which of the big two set the most fire off? Who had the big guns? And in terms of games I'm looking forward to, who will get the highest score? Until next time, always remember, play games, not corporations. Thanks for watching, everybody.
I'm a player. Girl, I thought